looking at Axl Rose, so as things heat up, this is interesting. I thought this was cool to look at because it kind of looks at the relationship between music and politics, but overall entertainment and politics. Axl Rose was with Guns N' Roses doing a concert the other night in Bogota, Colombia, in which he unveiled a Palestine flag on the stage to the shock of many people in the audience, but also to the delight of many people. Let's take a look. Turn down the screaming people. I don't need your civil war. Hold on, he said something here too. Ha. What's so civil about war anyway? So Axl Rose holding up the Palestine flag with the Guns N' Roses logo on it. So look, everybody coming out and making their voices heard. Me personally, I think it's kind of a tricky thing when you mix music and politics when people aren't expecting it at a concert. So, for example, I went to see a couple of shows where politics were involved, and the only time it really didn't bother me is when I had anticipated that it was coming. So I went to see Roger Waters on multiple occasions, and before going into that tour, I knew that it was going to be a huge political thing. And in that show that I saw, he mostly called out Trump. He had, the pig floating around in the arena with Trump's face on it. But he also called out Bill Clinton. At later shows I saw of him, he called out, Joe Biden, Jeffrey Epstein. So that was something I expected from Roger Waters. That was something that, Pink Floyd, obviously very political throughout their whole career. This is something that we came to expect from him. The only times I found it uncomfortable to see politics at a concert were shows like Carlos Santana, which again I should have expected. Now he's quite political, but I didn't know it at the time because I'm not Mr. Santana here. That's kind of before my generation. I went to see Carlos Santana, and he had multiple slideshows about politics and injustices in the world, and he was going on long diatribes talking about all these things. And I was like, you know what, man? I don't want to hear this shit. I'm here to hear Black Magic Woman. I got a couple Latinas with me, and we got the Black Tar, and we're going crazy. I'm just playing. But I'm there to listen to some good music. I'm not here for a political event. So that's when it strikes me as sort of being off. Like, I don't want to hear, Drake talk about politics. I don't want to hear Kiss talk about politics. I don't want to hear artists who are known for having fun music and just kind of staying out of all that. I don't need to hear their political opinions, but some of these guys it's kind of called for. So I feel like Axl maybe is in a gray area here because he always has been incredibly outspoken. And some of the music Axl made, by the way, I mean, if you listen to some of those songs, you listen to a song like 1 in a Million by Guns N' Roses, your fucking head's going to explode. And it sounds a lot more like the rhetoric of people today than it really does sound like it was of that time. But this is a guy who, again, if you know, you know. He's never been shy about sharing any opinions. So I feel like it's called for again. If you're going to go to a concert, especially in 2025, I kind of feel like the onus is on you to know what you're signing up for because there is a good chance it could get political. And I also feel like we're in a bit of a different era now. Like, I know that a lot of people just want to tell entertainers, hey, man, just shut up and sing. Hey, man, just shut up and dribble. Get back on stage, get back on the court. I get that perspective. I really do. But that's an old perspective, too. That's kind of like the perspective of an Elvis type character, like back in the day, or the Beatles. Like, we're just here to entertain you. We're not here to talk politics. The world has changed a lot now. And these issues are a lot more, it feels like you're a lot more connected to issues now with the internet too. So it almost feels, I understand telling an artist, just shut up and do your job. But it also feels kind of silly to expect that someone's going to have a massive platform and be really passionate about an issue and then not talk about that issue. That doesn't make sense. Because people with no platform are passionately talking about issues. You know, you're probably having debates with your family in the living room or around the campfire about these issues. You guys are passionate and you have no audience. So imagine if you're on a stage in front of 50,000 people and you're really upset that day about what's happening in Palestine. You're going to talk about it, right? This is common sense. So I understand the old perspective. I do, but I don't think it's called for when we're in a society which is supercharged the way it is today. If you like the content you've been seeing on this channel, make sure to become a member for early access, exclusive videos, and much, much more. It's a great way to support the channel for just $5 a month. Hit the description link down below. Go and check it out. Have you dreamt of starting YouTube or podcasting but don't know where to start? Or maybe you've started but aren't seeing the results you want? I'm now offering my audience one-on-one consultations for YouTube and podcast creation. These consultations cover the whole gamut, from launching your podcast, maintaining it, to finding your brand and actually reaching your audience. This is not a course or a one-size-fits-all. Together, we'll create a custom plan that actually works for your content. And if you're just a beginner, I'm offering my YouTube and podcast growth ebook down below in the description. If you want to take your content to the next level, check the links down below in the description. I can't wait to help you guys build.